Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included here in the Ultimate Base 4.0. In the previous episode we made some progress on the hotel planetoid, specifically the oxygen system. Now I should explain a few things. When calculating the amount of duplicants we can feed with this system, I ended up with not enough pumps, and I should maybe emphasize I was more thinking about how much output one pump can have, which is 500 grams. And then if we go ahead and check one of the duplicants that is breathing, I think 75 grams. Here's one of my duplicants inhaling 75 grams of oxygen. Let's just check another one. So this isn't like a special duplicant. Yeah, it is indeed a special duplicant. So they inhale 100 grams of oxygen on average. This only makes the calculation much easier. So that's 5 duplicants per pump here. That means 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 duplicants. And this way I could certainly provide enough oxygen for the entirety of the planetoid, including the hotel guests, with a symmetrical system. But you're definitely right in pointing out that currently I have more production power than sucking power. I did not realize that. I was just going off the number of duplicants I can support with these pumps, and I figured symmetry is also important. Now there are only a few things we now have to build. We got those petroleum boilers hooked up to the smart battery, so they should only act if they actually have something to do. And also this power wire here should be built, please. Now I just saw my irrigation is still having issues, even though I technically have enough water, so I think I need to change something about that system. Right now what it does is it prioritizes the oxygen system, so all of this backup I only have for the oxygen system, but it should technically also be for the plants, because by now we do have enough. So I think I'm gonna keep this fairly simple. We have all of these daisy chained storages, and I'm just gonna bring it all the way over to this part here. We can use some bridges to not influence the heat too much here. And then I think I will be getting either rid of this pump, or we just make it actually flow into this direction. Wait a second, this is always gonna limit me to just one full pipe of... okay, so that was the reason I wanted it separate, so I can have 2 full pipes. I see, so this is not gonna really work out. I need to be able to fill 2 pipes with that system, at least occasionally. As long as we only have 1 input pipe, it doesn't really matter. We cannot technically get 2 output pipes, but we can have 2 pumps, and then just during the downtimes of everything we can fill up the water again, and therefore we have the potential to use 2 pipes. This means instead of going into the liquid vent here, I'm just gonna bring it into the daisy chain storages and then output it right here. So instead of this going into the system, I'm gonna release the water right there. Then I'm gonna take this pump that is gonna be obsolete, and I'm gonna put it right here in order to feed into this system. That means we're not gonna be needing any of this shebang, but I will need some power that would be convenient to get from below. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna place this right here and make sure we build this here rather quickly before more water accumulates. This means I can still have my pump active that goes towards the farms, and then this pump here eventually can go. This means I can still have my buffer storage with all the liquid reservoirs, but the water is always going to be filled up here for my pumps to use. It's actually a little bit sad because Nispet isn't on the planetoid. The only way I can make them really go quick on the building is with the highest priority, and this is exactly what I'm doing right now. Otherwise it might take several cycles for them to get to it. The base is quite busy by now. There it is. Now my water is dropping again, and there should also be my oxygen being saturated again, and then the new water that's incoming is going into the storages, and I think like this we're gonna be happy. There's still a priority towards the oxygen system, but my plants always have at least a little bit so they can keep on growing. In the meantime, on the hotel planetoid we're almost done here. They are just finishing the pipes. Now let's make sure everything is closed off as of this point, so we should be able to start filling this up with oxygen. And by the way, in the previous episode some people commented about, isn't this supposed to be a underwater hotel? And I guess eventually it will be underwater again. We will have to do some experimentation with the water I'm having here, but this is ready to be used. Once we have built everything, I can fill up the gaps in between, which should then hopefully give the impression of this still being underwater. But it wasn't really convenient to build underwater, you know. Either way, we're now done with this part, so I should be able to set up the 2 gas vents. There are now 2 pipes going down. There's also a little bit of steam. I guess these guys here, yeah, the sandstone and the dirt here is really hot. But there it is. Oxygen should be flowing now. Wonderful. And then of course we are still filling up the rocket itself. So we have no problem staying on this planetoid for a little while longer. And there it is. Now my oxygen should be spreading rather quickly because we only have like 35 grams of polluted oxygen in here. And this also means once I get a couple of 100 grams, then I can use my actual transformers. They shouldn't be heating up this dramatically. Yeah, overall, I think that's gonna work out. We just have to wait a little bit. Now, should we mop this up? I'm not so sure. By the way, I did end up with way too much petroleum. We have to mop some of this up, and I also would like to fix this part, but I guess as soon as we don't have enough petroleum anymore, we're gonna run into the same issues. Oh, and I totally forgot to eliminate all of these critters. Look at the juicy meat we'll be getting. Now I can actually take my sweet time to set everything up, maybe get the stuff built that I already planned. Let me also see how it looks with the reed fiber. Yeah, we're gaining the reed fiber now that we have like 5 plants, but some of these are still waiting on irrigation. Let's see. No pending deliveries. What are you talking about? So are you telling me we used up all... Yeah, look at that. Darn it, we used up all of the polluted water we had going on. As a matter of fact, I should go ahead and actually replace this cable here with a heavy watt conductive cable. I'm gonna do that right now. And that means I can have 2 layers of liquid. One is gonna be water and one is gonna be polluted water. And therefore, I shouldn't be needing this part anymore. This was kind of an eyesore for me for a while, and I would like to get rid of it. Yeah, very nice. Now we can actually really take care of the hotel. Now I've done the background of the bedrooms already. We need to have drywall for the bathroom too. What are we gonna go for? Just tiled? Yeah, honestly, I'm not so sure. I don't want to like go crazy with this, but maybe if we do some pink and purple, that might be working out for us. So I'm just gonna test this out here at the top and see how it will look like. Now there are no tiles behind the shower, and I know that. Even though I can't see it, I know it, so it's probably not good. Now, of course, it is nighttime where the colors are washed out. What you gonna do? I think for the showers, I'm just gonna go with my industrial tiles. And I know this is absolutely useless. Well, it might give me a little bit of decor, I don't know. Looks like so far my petroleum generators didn't have to kick in, and I also got loads and loads of supercoolant here. This is actually really good news. Am I still getting supercoolant? Yeah, looks like it. This is already looking much better here at the bottom, now at 700 grams of oxygen. Now, admittedly, it is still a little bit hot in here. Maybe we're gonna be using that cool slush geyser to help us cool down. As a matter of fact, I still need to get in here, and I kind of would like to take advantage of it. If I dribble everything down here, I'm gonna be annoyed, so it will have to be on the other side. As a matter of fact, this is perfect because it is just gonna drop right here where we have our resources. And there it is, wonderful, cool water that will help us. Okay, now looking at this, I really don't like it, but what we could do maybe is a checker pattern. Let's remove these guys again, and instead I'm gonna try to just go for a checker pattern. I know this is gonna be slightly annoying to build, but I guess we only have to do it with one color and the rest we can just fill up. That might actually look better. Nisbet actually decided to sleep here. As of this point, I don't really mind. She can have her fun until the hotel guests move in. Looks like we have a meteor shower upon us. I believe I closed everything off, so that is good, but we do have the liquid rocket hanging in orbit. So let's see, I think this one here is already over. So I'm gonna be opening up the bunker doors and allow my rocket to actually return. It's gonna be filled up with petroleum, and at the same time we deliver water and polluted water. Come on, boots. Thank you. And I gotta check. I think I still don't have a proper solution for the polluted water. Actually, we don't even have any polluted water inside of this. So this is all gonna be pure water, just filling up our reservoirs here. In the meantime, I now have almost completely filled this up with oxygen. So what we should be seeing is this just being polluted oxygen at the bottom, and everything is still fine. Now, of course, we do get the occasional polluted oxygen from this guy. I don't think anymore. Eventually, we're gonna be filtering out everything. But for now, I'm just happy that I can now run some of my transformers. For instance, this guy here on the top I would like to run, so I'm going to be hooking that up to my heavy water wire, and it should immediately be charged up. So as soon as this guy here comes online again, well, I might just go ahead and allow it to drop down. Let's also get in here, or maybe we don't even have to do this. Yeah, we can close this off, and then I think what we should be doing is just continuing the cooling loop right here. Now I'm first going to do this with granite pipes and eventually change to radiant pipes, but what I want to see is my hotel being cooled with the steel layer that we have going on there. This will then cool the entirety of the water that we have inside of here. So you have to imagine these corridors here or shafts are going to be filled up to the brim with water, and then we can just translate the temperature to these steel tiles, which I think should be good. Yeah, it's not the best thermal conductivity, but you know, overall we will have the base under control. It's going to be a long process, but eventually we have it at the temperature we want. So this means what I want to see is my pipes, for now granite, but eventually it's going to be something better, just connecting up here. And I guess as of this point here, we want to switch to insulated pipes. This will then be continuing all the way through the floor here. And then I guess eventually this might be the edge. So it's just gonna come all the way back up. Then I'm gonna be going through the flooring here, and let's see, we need to end up like in this place here. So let me switch to insulated pipes again, and there we go. That would be a completed loop right there. Yeah, actually, I think that is gonna add up, and that also means we can have our steel tiles here. Right now, I don't have enough steel to actually complete all of this. I rather keep the steel to complete the floors here. Also, as you can see, dropping the cold water here actually helps a little bit to get that initial cooling. Well, maybe we don't even need it. It's not technically that hot in here, but what we do want to see now is the completion of this pipe, which shouldn't take too long because we're building it out of granite, which doesn't have the heat transfer of a radiant pipe, of course, but it is still gonna adapt the environment to its temperature, especially once we lead it through the steel tiles. For now, I do want to keep my gold in order to set up these edge tiles and actually make the border really nice. I told them to not do radiant pills again. Nisbet now is at 42 rats, unfortunately. She just can't take it, but I guess we also get some here. Well, not that many, but as soon as they run through here, of course, it's horrible. So maybe just for Nisbet, we're gonna allow the rat pills again. May can actually take it much better with her trait. I think I'm now ready to send over some more oxalite to the third planetoid. I should not forget about that. I'm just gonna keep this active for a little while until the storage here has filled up again. Yeah, this is progressing like a charm. We already got parts of the pipe built. I just gotta make sure to set up a ladder like every 8th tile or so. This way we should be able to build the rest of this. Oh, looks like I'm all out of gold materials. No problem. I should still have some here. 132 tons. Oh yeah, we're gonna send a lot of it over now. Refined metal, gold. Where are you? Right there. Okay, I'm gonna keep this running for a couple of cycles, maybe even more. Get about 30 tons or so over. And I'm gonna bring down my materials just a little bit, one level here, so that I have access to it from the transit tube. Honestly, I don't have enough steel either way. So let's maybe get through this process already. And I'm just gonna set up the steel layer that we're gonna have here. And this is gonna be the same thing here on the other side. So this is all gonna be steel. And then this is all gonna be filled up with water. And we might even have another water channel going up here. No, actually there needs to be a little bit of space for the amusement and all the amenities. So I guess we could say this is gonna be our layer here, the topmost part, and this is where we want to end up. That means I would like to see this here being insulated as well. Looking good. We only have to finish this part here on this side and then the ladder part that I haven't done yet. There we go. I almost missed the grand opening of the cooling loop, but it seems to be going on right now. That is good. So we're still missing some gold tiles here that we should make some progress on. And I think the easiest would be to just do this corner one layer after another. Maybe we can also do these guys here and get started with this one as well. Well, looks like my battery is overheating. I thought I had it cooled down, but I guess that actually doesn't count. And so it will also not count for the petroleum generator. Yeah, of course, the middle section here, the cooling element is on the top here. Of course, it doesn't work. So we're gonna deconstruct this. I will have to move it one block down, and then we also have to introduce another part here. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to empty this out so you can continue. So I'm gonna be putting the first one right here, and the second one is gonna go here. Please, somebody take care of this. Thank you. And then it is a tiny bit less elegant, but it's still gonna be fine. At least everything is gonna be cooled down. Currently, we want it at 22 degrees. Now let me see. We still have a little bit left in here. That is actually really good. Let's also see. Ooh, Oh yeah, look at that. This actually has even more cooling potential than I anticipated with the pipe here. But I really want to translate the temperature to all of these steel tiles. That would be my goal. And then eventually we're gonna bring a little bit more steel along. Yeah, I gotta say, this is really good. And so we can just eventually, you know, replace it with a proper radiant pipe. Like right now we already have over 11 tons of gold. So I guess we could get started by replacing the lowest row here. Just making sure that we transfer a lot of the gel right there. But it seems to be working out. I mean, it's coming back here and we still have it at 18 degrees. Well, to be fair, it started like at 0 degrees. And so now with all that new gold, I'm just gonna get going, building all of these areas up, get that border nice and completed. Let me have a look at the kilocalories. We still have 300,000 left, so that is good. In this case, I think we should just keep going. Right now, I have still 114 tons, so we still haven't sent enough gold over. Hold on, how much steel do I have? I have 21 tons. That's not gonna be enough. That's definitely not gonna cut it. I'm gonna queue up some more here. Wait a second, my iron ore. Maybe it's here on the third planetoid. I actually totally forgot. Iron ore, let me check. We got 118 tons. This is actually really good news because all we have to do is bring it over here. Not the copper, but the iron we want to send over. Wait a second. Are you lying to me? Where is the iron? Iron ore. Oh no, don't tell me it's all down here somewhere. Ah, this is horrible. Well, it's not that horrible because our duplicant really doesn't have anything to do. Like Lyra here isn't really busy all the time, and I guess we can allow her to bring the iron ore up. Yeah, I think it's better to do it manually. So we're just gonna do iron ore for the time being, and I guess all of the organic stuff and the fossils is still fine. Let's just see, what is she gonna do? Yeah, picking up the polluted dirt first, storing materials. I want to see you grab some iron. Yeah, I'm actually really disappointed. I figured with the system we had going on here, we already picked up most of the iron ore, but apparently that didn't happen. Okay, I've had it with the polluted dirt. That's like the 5th run. Let's just get rid of the organic materials and just focus on fossils and iron ore. Okay, that's what I want to send over. It's gonna be brought right into the storage and therefore be brought to the second planetoid, and from the second planetoid we bring it to the first one, like we always do. So it's going to be directly landing in here, and I just got to make sure to also set up the iron ore here. As a matter of fact, I do have a little bit of iron ore on the second planetoid as well, which is good. And then right here, I can queue up some more of that shebang. I'm going to do 50 crafts at least, but then queue up another 50 in case our cooling system can keep up. And in the meantime, we're done here with the lower pipe. As you can see, this is now all at a cozy 23 degrees. I like it. Yeah, look at the nice yellow color that is slowly but surely taking over. Now we're gonna have a fallback once we actually release the water, because we will then have to cool that one down as well, but it's gonna be totally worth it, I think. Right here we have all the space for amenities. We also have the space to do some type of a great hall. We probably need multiple great halls, but yeah, you get the basic gist. We'll kind of have to work around this saltwater guys here. That is a little bit of an eyesore, but maybe we somehow get around it. Now I also want to see whether or not I can send some of those seeds over. Actually, it's not seeds, it's industrial ingredient. We want the reed fiber. I have 325 units. I don't think it's actually enough to finish the building, but let's just see what happens if I bring those reed fiber over. I think they're already in there, or at least a bunch of them. Gosh, okay, I knew this would happen. We now have reached a point where these weezwards are just producing too much chill. So right now this is way too cold, and therefore these weezwards don't work anymore because they only work up to a temperature of minus 60 degrees. This is so mean. Let me think. What if we added all of our hot abyssalite here? Like honestly, what happens if I set up a storage bin here and then just input my 1000 degrees abyssalite? Okay, bring me abyssalite. I should have loads of it right here. This is not even that hot anymore. It's just like 400 degrees. But let me grab those 450 degrees. That seems to be the highest temperature. And we're just gonna switch that to sweep only. So change that to sweep only at the highest priority. And then this stack should be brought over here at 400 degrees. Hopefully helping us out a little bit. Otherwise, we have to come up with something else. But geez, I figured with all of these wrap-ball chambers I would be able to produce enough temperature. Okay, now storage bin, does it work? This is, yeah, look at that, it is heating up. a little bit. At least these plants here now seem to be happy, but I don't think it is actually going to help. Okay, I have another idea. What if we leaked a little bit of heat from the rocket system? Like we have 7 kilograms of steam here. It's 160 degrees. So we could, for instance, exchange this tile here and then get a little bit of heat over. And I think the abyssalite idea here was kind of stupid. So I'm gonna undo that again. And that is definitely gonna work since we are translating a lot of the heat this way. And it's gonna be slow enough so it doesn't get out of hand, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna allow this to unfold its potential a little bit. Seems to be working out. In the meantime, on the water planetoid, we're going towards the green color. Well, greenish yellow. Check this out. The petroleum generators are actually necessary for the first time, and that was during the night. Makes sense. Also, we seem to be doing good on the oxygen so far. Maybe we should think about how we distribute the oxygen throughout the hotel, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. There are many pipes we still have to build, and maybe I guess I should focus on one thing after another. Right now we have the entire planetoid oxygenated, and we also have the cooling loop in place. Two very important things, I believe. It's going to be a question of bringing over materials. Then I probably want to have a setup here on the top. I'm not sure for what yet. The amenities are definitely going to go here. Maybe a great hall setup here on the very top. And then let me know some other suggestions. What do you want to see? Maybe this top version here could be the petting zoo, but this is probably not enough space to set up something for all of the critters. But we could do maybe a few select critters, or maybe you have other ideas that we could go for. But yeah, I will continue my mission here a little bit. The next time we see us, hopefully I will have done a lot of the outside part here and maybe even some of the steel parts as well. So I don't forget, I probably want to shut this off again, and look at that. It actually worked out. All of the plants are active again and they are at 40 degrees. So I guess I can leave this be for a while and then either close it off again or maybe find an automated solution. We could replace this here with a door, for instance, whenever we read. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, why only talk about it if we can just do it? Replace this with a door, and we want to close the door as soon as we detect a certain temperature here. Set up a thermosensor. It's so mean for the duplicants that have to come here. It's like 2,000 rats per cycle when they move through here. So some of my duplicants are probably not doing well. I really could fix this issue by closing these doors and then technically... no, they're just gonna continue, of course. Yeah, totally forgot about that. They continue until the system is full again. So there's no safe way for my duplicants to do this except, well, the safe way would be that they don't do it at all, but they should... this door here. Oh, come on. Wait a second. Can I shut down the system? Nobody saw anything, okay? This is bad. Okay, now I have to close this off rather quickly, because otherwise we're gonna be screwed. Mechanized airlock, you have to be built immediately, and the automation slot is actually over here. Okay, and get those guys. I know, I'm gonna lose all of my hydrogen. It's only at 1,500 grams now. Let me see. Where's my hydrogen entry? Nowhere. But we could always grab the extra hydrogen we're getting from here. Sure, I'm gonna be doing that, even if just temporarily. You get one of those. Let's actually go with a high gas pressure vent. So we're gonna be filling that up with 20 kilograms and have even more cooling capabilities. Or basically just heat capacity, I mean. There it is. My door suppressed that we don't have power. We don't need power, but we want to open up the door as soon as we are above, let's say, minus 40 degrees. And then if we drop below minus 40 degrees, it's gonna close and therefore translate a little bit of heat, provided we occasionally get started with this rocket here. Okay, I like that solution, and I'm gonna get back to the hotel planetoid. As a last deed out of the comment section, a tip, we should be able to deconstruct the steam engine and then still keep the battery modules. So let's just see if that is the case. They're dropping all down. Yeah, they're still doing something. Okay, that is great. In this case, we can actually add some more battery slots on the top. Let's go ahead and do that. 1 and 2 more. Does that mean it's not restricted at all? That will have been a really chat move. So thank you very much for that tip. Really nice. Let me see if that is really the case. Can we just like keep going? Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Okay, I really like that. That's all we gonna need in terms of battery power. But with that out of the way, let's wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you soon. Bye bye.